Okay, so this video is going to be kind of a chicken from baby chick to butchering process. These baby chickens, there's 100 of them in here. They're a Cornish X cross, 6 to 8 weeks depending on weather and temperature. We'll be ready to butcher. I picked them up today. They were hatched this morning. If you're buying them, I recommend, if you can, pick them up instead of having them mailed. Your survival rate will be way better. Got them set up with some chick starter. Put a couple marbles out on that so they peck at them and find the food. Do the same thing in the water. But anyway, so day one. Alright, it's been about 10 days and chickens are all growing, starting to get their feathers. I've lost 2, which is actually really pretty good. As a general rule, we lose, I don't know, 10%, maybe 15 or 20 in a bad batch, but these ones have been very healthy and doing good. So that's what they look like as they're starting to get some feathers. So here we are. This is probably week 3, 3.5. Starting to look a little bit more like chickens. And got most of the feathers. They're eating a lot more now. In fact, this is the last week they'll have any kind of medicated feed. Switch them over to just a higher protein flock raiser. So anyway, that's the check-in for this week, and we've lost 3 so far out of the 100, so we're down to 97. But that's still really, really pretty good for this many birds. Okay, so next step in the process is I've moved to a float water system. This means you don't have to be filling up waters all the time. I wait till at least 4 weeks because if you do it earlier, usually they drowned in it. I've also moved them out of, they were in this little boxed area. They're out of this whole room. Another week or so they're going to be going outside if they so choose. Still doing pretty good on numbers. 96 total. I've also gone to at night pulling their food. If you leave their food down, they'll just eat and eat and eat. And once they get, you can see some of these are already getting pretty big. They'll actually outgrow even their feathers. So it kind of controls their growth rate. Also moved pretty much away from, this is the last medicated feed. And they'll be going pretty much all on a flock raiser grower. So anyway, about halfway there. Okay, I was just going to go over a little bit about what we feed them. We do start them with the start and grow, the medicated, and we've tried doing without, and we lose a lot more chicks in the beginning if we don't. The math on this, what we use is about 50 pounds for every 20 birds. So there was 100 of them, so we did 5 bags of this, and then we move into just a standard flock raiser. We do crumbles on both. There's pellets available, at least on the flock raiser, and we just find that these chickens have a harder time eating the pellets. So anyway, that's the food. Alright, so moving on to the next step. They are able to go outside now. They've got a pretty good sized area, that all down through there. They can go out and free range all they want. It's about as much free ranging as they really do. If you have visions of them soaring around your chicken yard, they just aren't that kind of chicken. But anyway, they are outside, so they can do a little bit of foraging besides the feeders. I moved the feeders out just to make them come outside, and they maybe get a look at what a real chicken looks like too. So anyway, that's where they're at. I haven't lost any more, so they're growing right along. We weighed a couple last night, and they're somewhere between 2 and 3 pounds. So we're about 2 weeks off from butchering. 2 little boxes on the ground. Had a weasel come through and kill a couple of them. You end up with this issue. This is a pretty simple fix. I haven't caught him yet, but it's basically a rat trap with a little bit of meat in the back. keeps the chickens out of it. Hopefully we'll catch it. The weasel, it killed one, injured another one, which I can't believe it actually has not died, but has not. They're definitely getting bigger and growing nicely. The last time we weighed them, they're getting probably, I weighed one for a week or two, but probably 4 to 5 pounds. And we're feeding them 3 times a day versus letting them feed all the time. You can see they poop like there's no tomorrow. So just to give you a little bit of perspective, this was all sprayed and shoveled clean less than 24 hours ago. So they're very messy critters. But we're almost there. So I'll probably get one more shot of them before we butcher them, and then I'll do a second video on butchering. So here we go. Okay, so we're a little over 24 hours away from butchering. The last 24 hours I go ahead and let them feed as much as they want. It doesn't really matter. Though you do want to make sure you pull their feed at least 6 hours before you butcher them. Just makes the process a lot cleaner. So anyway, I'll get exact number count once we get to butchering them, but there's probably around 90. We lost a couple extra ones this week. Had a bit of a weasel problem, but they're pretty much ready to go. I think these will probably all dress out around 5 pounds. Once we get them on the scale, we'll see. But anyway, so the next part, this will be the end of this video, and then I'm going to do a part 2, which will have all of the butchering stuff on it, kind of how I do it in the setup. So anyway, that's coming up after this. If you search same title, part 2, you'll find it. All right, thanks.